Test 3. Repeat sentence. Page 91. 1,
This module develops our understanding of the theory behind advertising campaigns.
two,
Computer software has changed a lot in the last year.
3,
Exam results will be available next week from the course office.
4,
The most modern agricultural equipment is now extremely expensive.
5,
The number of students registering for postgraduate research has risen.
6,
This semester, we plan to specialize in educational psychology.
7,
The new drug will be tested in North America.
8,
Books which are overdue will incur a daily fine.
9,
Distance learning has become far more popular these days.
ten.
You need to write a proposal for your research.
Test 3. Retell lecture. Page 95. 1.
Now, as we all know, it has long been the habit in many countries that teachers give homework to school children of all ages. Despite the fact that a minority of educators don't agree with this practice, it has never seriously been questioned or challenged before. However, it may be that the tide is turning. These days, more people are becoming convinced that homework is of virtually no benefit, particularly for children in the younger age group. So, why have teachers always given homework? Well, the answer seems to be because they are obliged to. Most teachers don't really believe it has any real value, and the latest research supports the teachers' feelings about this. Not only does homework have very little impact on children's learning, but it also puts unnecessary obligations and responsibilities onto the parents. These days, not all families have the time or the necessary knowledge to help their offspring. So it would seem that now senior educators want to start a new initiative. Rather than giving homework, they plan to encourage reading books of any kind, just reading. And they claim that this is a far more effective method of consolidating learning than wading through piles of written homework.
Two.
Some years ago, a group of academics from different disciplines recognised the necessity of studying conflict as a phenomenon. They were interested in the distinct properties of conflict as it occurred in international relations, national politics, industrial relations, communities, or even in the domestic setting. These academics believed that approaches from different disciplines could be applied to the study of conflict with a view to better understanding its causes, effects and solutions. As a result, research groups developed, and universities and academic journals began to publish papers on conflict theory, as it came to be called. Unfortunately, many other academics didn't welcome this new discipline. They couldn't reconcile it with traditional scholarly practices because it had both a practical nature and an analytical approach. Nevertheless, the new discipline continued to develop, and the field grew and spread, and conflict theory now has the same prestige as other academic areas of research and study, despite the early criticism it attracted.
Three.
Now, as urban planners, what we really need to start considering is the amount of space allocated for residential areas within a city or town. And when I say space, I'm talking about space within a dwelling or home, rather than the actual size of residential areas. There's growing concern that the internal space of new homes is becoming far smaller, too small, in fact. Maybe you're thinking, is it important for residents to have sufficient space? Is it merely a preference to have more space, or are there more serious implications? Is there, in fact, any evidence to suggest cramped living conditions affect residents' physical or mental well-being or their day-to-day life? Well, research from a number of sources indicates that this is an important issue which needs addressing. Cramped conditions can lead to aggressive behaviour, to family tensions, psychological anguish and, in the more extreme cases, physical illness as well. Not only this, but there is a proven link between overcrowding and the social and emotional development of children as well as their educational attainment. So, the main issue here is that residents require enough individual space to be able to live and function together, but with sufficient private space for personal time within the home.
Test 3. Answer short question. Page 96. 1.
If something is not expensive, what do we say it is?
2,
What do people wear if they can't see very well?
3,
If something such as fabric or medicine is artificially made, not natural, what do we say it is?
4,
What type of food is an apple?
5,
How many months are in a year?
6,
What is the opposite of east?
7,
When ice is at room temperature, what does it become?
8,
Which sweet food is produced by bees?
9,
Where can people go to borrow books?
10,
Who serves food in a restaurant?